Hello everyone, I'm Adam Papagan. Welcome to another episode of There's a Place, the ASMR talk show. The show that feels good to hear. We've got an expert. I like these shows where we have an expert on the show who knows about something specific and technical we get into. But before that, I had experience this weekend with experts of a different kind. I got an opportunity to lead a tour of a zoology lab that had hundreds and hundreds of bird specimens. So, I'll be honest, I don't care one way or another about birds. Really didn't know anything about them, but money is money. So I was like, okay, I'll really have to just check people in. It's gonna be a real layup. So I go to this zoology lab, and it's mostly normal folks, but then these two dudes show up who are like old, I think they were a couple, but older guys, skinny, they looked like grays, like the aliens, but they were, you could tell they were very excited to be there. They're asking about which ornithologists were gonna be there and all this stuff. I was like, wow, these guys like birds. So we get up into the zoology lab, and these guys are like geeking out about the birds. They're like, the guy's pulling out parrots and stuff, and they're like, you have one of these? You have this macaw in this condition? It's like they're geeking out like guys get into like records or cars or whatever, sports. I was like, okay, that's something. So then the one guy, he's wearing like a denim jacket. He takes the jacket off, and he's just got full sleeves of very colorful bird tattoos. And come to find out, whenever he sees the bird in the wild, he will then get the tattoo of it. So I was like, all right, this is cool that these guys are this into this hobby. You know, I just thought, if you liked birds this much, you could just, go ahead and just become a scientist. It didn't realize it could be a hobby. But then, I started thinking more about it, and these guys are in a relationship with each other, and like the birds are playing a big part. I don't know. These guys might have been really into birds, if you know what I mean. We've got a great show tonight. We have another sponsored commercial. Again, if you want one of these commercials, send me an email. My email is down in the description here. But send me an email, $5 a month. This one coming up is for the Department of Descriptive Services. They're offering a wake-up call you can get. So check out the clip, and we'll be right back.
The Department of Descriptive Services is offering a professional wake-up call service. Place your order now for a wake-up call.
Folks, my guest tonight is probably one of the premier harpists on the music scene today. Her latest album is a collection of works called Collected Works. Please welcome Mary Lattimore. Hey, Mary, thanks for coming. Oh, it's going great. So, why the harp?
Oh, good question. My mom is a harpist, so I grew up with harps around.
So, I guess the question should be for your mom then. Why did she pick the harp?
She had a neighbor who played the harp. She was kind of like an older, cool girl who played the harp in her neighborhood, and yeah.
Do you know how that girl got into the harp?
No.
But it's something that kind of is. You have to have you'll have to have direct exposure to harps.
Yeah, kind of.
You don't just get into it.
I guess you kind of get into it. Well,
you didn't have to. Do you have sisters?
Yeah, I have a sister.
Does she play the harp?
No way. She hates the harp.
She hates the harp? Wow.
She got married and she said, no harps. Absolutely no harps. She's tired of harp.
But you were growing up with harps in the house.
Yeah.
Your dad, is he musical?
No, not at all.
So this was a hobby your mother had?
It's her job.
A skill. Okay,
It's her
so she's a professional harpist.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, my girls are going to get the best harping. Harping is Would you call it that?
I would never call it that.
Or you wouldn't call it harping?
I wouldn't call it harping, no.
No, what was the term for it? Playing the harp.
Playing a harp,
Okay.
yeah.
My girls are going to be the best at playing the harp.
She didn't say that. She just, since I'm the firstborn, she said, you will play the harp. And so I didn't want to at first, but then eventually I made it my own, you know, after a while.
It's kind of a signature accessory, a signature. Not a lot of people play the harp.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Is it, do you have like a main competitor who plays the harp?
No.
No, so it's just,
Are you trying to start
I'm wondering, well, okay,
No.
like if I needed somebody to like play the harp on my album, which is
Right.
something that's happened a lot for you, you're the only person I would even vaguely think of to ask. But see, I'm not in like the music world like that. I'm wondering, is there like a,
There are
Like-
other people that do exactly the same thing that I do.
but you've maybe more in like a classical kind of setting?
Yeah,
That's
I
the
think so.
usual
Yeah.
form for the harp.
Uh-huh.
Do you like it when harp stuff comes up in pop culture?
Sure, yeah.
Like Cupid?
Yeah.
Well, that's not a harp that he plays.
It is, though. It's like a miniature, like a lyre.
It's like yeah. Okay.
They're all the same. I mean, if it's like strings stretched on something, it's like harpy.
There's an episode of Seinfeld where George, I think, asks why they don't build the harp at an angle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. You didn't know about that?
No.
Oh, well, what do you think about that joke?
No,
'Cause
say
you
the
gotta-
joke again?
Well, you gotta like lean the harp, you know.
Right.
But he was saying just build it at an angle. Would that work?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's funny that George has a harp joke.
Yeah, I forget the context of how he met up. Somebody who plays the harp, a harpist.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where did this harp come from?
This is from Chicago. It's about 45 years old. And my mom gave it to me as a gift. It used to be hers. And yeah, it was in a movie called Richie Rich starring Macaulay Culkin.
Oh yeah, That was one of his last movies as a youth.
Maybe.
It kind of spun out after that.
Yeah, it was featured and as a prop just in a corner. He got paid a lot of money to be in that movie. But
How many harps do you think there are out there?
in the world?
Yeah, or I mean not like in the whole, but like that if I wanted to buy a harp, but I need to go to a dealer.
If you what?
Wanted to buy a harp, but I need to go to a dealer.
Yeah, you could go to a dealer. You could go,
Your run-of-the-mill music shop isn't gonna. Guitar Center,
not Guitar Center,
that's not gonna have this.
but like a lot of music shops have like
Stein
little
on
baby
Vine?
ones. Huh?
Stein on Vine. You ever go there?
No, I've never been there.
They do
I just
upright
moved
basses.
here, you know.
Yeah.
I'm new.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know
that's a
all the
good music
shops.
shop.
Yeah, okay.
It's across from the Musicians Union.
Okay.
Which, are you in the Musicians Union as
No,
someone with a
I've been
specialized?
asked to join, you know. I mean, I don't know if they really ask you. They just say that you need to pay them money if you've like played on a show before. But I'm debating whether or not to join it.
Because it's not just like you're playing some ratty old guitar or whatever. This is a skill that you have. It goes beyond just the
Took a long
musicality
time.
of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You went to college to study the harp as well?
Yeah.
And so is that, like, how do you just run scales and stuff like any other instrument?
Yeah. A lot of scales, a lot of practicing by yourself.
How is the harp, how is it tuned? What are the intervals?
It's like a piano, like C,
So it's
D,
every
F, G.
note.
It is every note, but then it has pedals,
And
which
then-
are like sharps and flats. So there's like 3 notches. Should I look at the camera? There's 3 notches, and the top one is flat, the middle one is natural, and the bottom one is sharp. So it's like stretching and loosening the strings. So there's like a C pedal. So C has C flat, C natural, C sharp, and there's a D pedal, D flat, D natural, D sharp. On and on. So 7 pedals, 1 for each note.
So are there certain keys that are easier to play the harp?
Not really. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
As long as you just like set those pedals. That's why like when you go like glissando, like blue, then you can set it to make it sound really, you know,
the daydream
classic.
noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can set it to be really consonant sounding because you're eliminating some of the dissonant notes by using
So
the
it
pedals.
cuts them off. The pedals cut them off.
Yeah, or they
Like
change them to the same string.
like a dulcimer.
Yeah. It's not really cutting them off.
No, auto harp.
It's
Auto
just,
harp.
like, cutting them
Auto
off.
harp.
It's not cutting them off though. It's just changing them into the same note. So like, you know how on the
It bends them
piano-
inside that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like on the piano, you can have a D sharp at the same time as an E flat, and those are the same sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're the same key. So you make those pedals, and then you're eliminating like the D flat and the blah blah. You know, you can just make it sound nice.
What was the golden age of harp music? Or are we just now entering it?
I don't know.
With you and your...
I don't know.
What,
I mean, there's like, you know, like impressionistic kind of French music like Ravel and Debussy, like that beautiful orchestra music that's like all lush, Frenchy sounding stuff. That was golden age. Harpo Marx,
oh yeah.
golden guy.
Do you like harpo?
Yeah.
Are you do you learn about him in music school if you're studying the harp?
Sort of. I mean, you just learn about him. Yeah, I guess so.
Was he good at the harp?
He's really good at the harp.
He was good.
Yeah, he was very good.
I gotta learn more about him.
Very naturally talented. What is this book called, you know? I think it's called like, I wish I could remember the title of his book, but it has a funny title about not speaking with words.
Right, because he never talked. He only did the harp.
Right.
So he's like your Marx brother.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Groucho, you could, you know, he's all well and good.
Who cares?
Zeppo. Who cares about Zeppo Marx? Might have been one or two other ones too. Yeah, Harpo.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe there's an I Love Lucy episode where she would, because I know he was on it.
Yep, there was
He
one.
must have always hit to lug that. How do you get this thing around town?
I have
Around
a
tour and
Volvo.
stuff? Like the Volvo station wagon.
Yeah,
the,
well,
like-
I recently had to sort of upgrade to a bigger Volvo because my parents wanted me to get a newer car. My car now is from 2001, which is like newer than my old Volvo station wagon. So it's like a safer thing than the station wagon because they don't really make that same like boxy station wagon anymore. But I don't know. Yeah, I have to have a big car. I can never have like a cool car.
Cause well,
It's all right.
you get a Ford Bronco. That'd be a cool thing to
That'd be really
you,
cool.
You whip the harp out of it, like you're like
And
off-roading.
that's really tall. It's really
Yeah.
tall.
So it'd be easy to get it in and out.
Hard.
Oh, harder?
It'd be completely hard to
You
get in
couldn't
and out
lean
of there.
it and then kind of, no.
Not really.
It's fragile, I bet.
It's fragile, yeah.
Do you have a backup harp?
I do, but that makes me sound like a brat.
Well, you don't travel with the backup
I
though.
have a backup it lives in Europe. It lives in Prague.
Oh, what's it doing over there?
It's when I go play in Europe, then I don't have to rent one.
Oh, so that must be a big consideration.
Yeah.
Is what? Did they ever provide you a harp?
Sometimes, but mostly people who have harps, they don't really like want to rent them out so much or let people borrow them because you mainly just get one or two if you're very lucky, like in your lifetime, in your entire lifetime. So no one wants the responsibility of like using someone else's harp because it's,
Especially something where there's so few harp players.
yeah,
That it must be like a personal kind of
it's personal.
connection with it,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
like- you know what? Recently, I got to transport the greatest of all harps, the Alice Coltrane harp.
Yeah.
Her actual harp. It hasn't been played in 20 years, and this friend of mine was going to play it for the Alice Coltrane sort of celebration of her music, which was like a Red Bull Music Academy thing. And so
Red Bull and harps.
they needed one. They needed someone to transport it, and so I got to carry it in my car. And it was her actual beautiful harp, like has like custom painting and stuff on it, and it's like the most spiritual of all harps. Beautiful.
Because she would use it to write, like, and it is a very beautiful instrument.
Yeah, hers is gold, and John Coltrane ordered it for her in 1967, and then he died, and then it was delivered to her after he died as a present. So beyond the grave, like, she got that harp.
From
It's
Angel,
cool. Mm-hmm.
the being known for playing the harp.
Yeah.
How'd that all get started? The angel harp thing, you don't know?
This is not a question answer, I know.
Okay. So, all right. Well, I don't know, maybe because, like, I don't know, some people who are into, like, trains and stuff, they know all about the years and
Angels.
stuff.
I mean, I know, like, harps were, they're the oldest instruments, so they were derived from, like, bows, you know, like bow and arrow, like bows being strung with hair from animals.
And people kind of boing.
Yep.
Wow.
And there's like cave paintings with harps. Yeah.
So it's really, you're using a harp, you're tapping into some
Old stuff.
old stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to bring it into the modern world.
Well, you're doing, I mean, like, harp's been pretty good to you, wouldn't you say?
I think so.
Like, you get to do all this cool stuff.
I'm trying.
You've played with a lot of different bands. Pretty much the band of when they need a harp, they have to come to you.
I hope so.
Who was, of all the, you'll like get like you get like a call and it'll be like, Thurston Moore wants a harp, come to here and like play the harp on his shows or whatever?
Yeah.
It's pretty much, okay. So all the people you worked with, who was the best, like, arranger, like, knew how to put the harp in? Who did it jive? Were you ever like,
Arranger, like,
or just somebody who you were just like, wow, this cat knows, like, when the harp should go? It really.
I don't know. I will say, like, a lot of times I'm the one that like, I choose where to put it in and I write the parts.
So they'll just go, hey, Mary, let's
we
get some harp.
trust you, kind of, yeah.
Let's get some harp on this.
Because a lot of people, like, in bands, you know, that need me to play, like, they don't know anything about the harp, so they just want to trust me. But the person that I have the most fun collaborating with is Kurt Weill, and I feel like he and I, we have a really good working relationship. So
he kind of understands your style,
he
or
does,
like
yeah.
what you.
And he totally trusts me, and it's so fun. He's my favorite. Yeah.
You played with Daniel Johnston not too long ago,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
How was that? I met him once, 10 years ago, right during his, like, whatever comeback that was, when that guy's always having comebacks.
I think this is his last tour.
You think this is it?
It's done, yeah.
Was he, like, it seemed like they got him up for the show and then he gets back down. And he was just drawing or whatever, but he was just kind of like, didn't really feel like hanging out. I just met him after the show.
10 years ago or here?
10 years ago, yeah. I don't know, was it different working with him? Or?
It was cool, you know, it was like a band that was like me, Cass McCombs, Hair in Oblivion. This was in San Francisco. And this guy Sonny from Sonny and the Sunsets. And we learned like tons of songs, like 18 songs or something. So we learned them and we arranged them and everything. And then he was supposed to just come right onto the stage and, like, you know, be able to fit in with our arrangements, whatever. But there were some things he just didn't want to sing. So he just like dismissed it, you know. He's like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. So that was like with 5 songs or something. But it was still really fun, you know, like to hear his voice, and like he has fun. He has a good time, like singing.
Yeah, he's written a lot of good songs too. Just
so many great songs, and a lot of them are the same chords, but it's amazing, like the combination of chords, of like those same chords that he can make songs out of. It's cool. I love him.
What brought you out to Los Angeles here? The music industry?
I guess so. I was living in Philly for 12 years, and I just wanted
12 years you were there? Okay, I have kind of a bone to pick with you, actually, about Philadelphia.
Oh, why?
Well, when I was there, you said try John's roast pork sandwich.
Yeah, were you just there recently?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I took your, I was like,
You didn't like it?
she has good taste.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat the sandwich. And I found it to be kind of bland.
Oh.
With the spinach and, I don't know.
I think it's great.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. But so you were there 12 years. It seemed like local people liked it.
Right.
But I didn't.
Did you try any other sandwiches?
Oh yeah, I went to the dueling cheesesteaks.
Oh yeah, did you like those?
The old one was good. The new one was terrible. The one from like the 90s that is homophobic or whatever.
Yeah, Gina or Pat's. I can't remember which one's new and which one's old. But yeah. So you thought that the homophobic
Pat's
one
is the old one.
Okay.
And that's the good one. The one where they like are like xenophobic and homophobic.
Right.
I mean, that's a different issue, but the sandwich I just didn't think was as good.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really eat cheesesteaks so much.
Okay.
But
I
Paisanos
appreciate
is a really good sandwich.
Oh, I missed. That's Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Missed it.
Oh man, that's a really good sandwich.
I do appreciate the recommendation though. That's one of those, but okay. Spinach on like stewed spinach on a sandwich.
It's not stewed spinach, it's broccoli rabe.
What?
I think it's broccoli rabe.
Broccoli Rob?
Yeah.
Is that one of the musicians you've played with?
No. It's like the special kind of broccoli. I think it's broccoli. Yeah, it's called broccoli rabe.
It was very Italian tasting. Like old school Italian. Well, I guess it made an impression.
We don't need to fight about it. What about the sandwiches here? I just went to Kohl's recently. It's pretty good.
Well, you know, Kohl's lies about inventing the French dip sandwich.
Oh yeah.
They're lying. Philippe's though is the
That's
better
what
one.
people say. It's
Yeah.
better. But Kohl's is like the vibe is.
The vibe is good and the
Interesting.
sandwich tastes a little better, I'll be honest with you. I think they say they perfected the sandwich, some nonsense like that. Yeah, good sandwich city here. And
Yeah.
cheeseburgers. The cheeseburger's a cheeseburger.
Yeah, I can't really. I guess you can mess it up, but I don't know.
I was listening to your music. So you've worked with other people and stuff, but when did you start doing your own composing and releasing your own stuff?
Like 2013 or 14.
So kind of more recently in the.
Yeah.
And what was the impetus to do that?
I had just finished like almost 2-year record cycle with Thurston Moore. Like I played on his record, and then
did you want to tour with him?
I went on tour with him.
And and he goes on tour everywhere because it's a big international act.
Yeah, so we went on tour a lot, and then he was like, at one point he's like, okay, can't tour with the harp anymore, just for not just practical reasons, but he just wanted to like stretch out a little more, like not playing so quietly anymore, you know? So I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't have any more dreams. I need to come up with a new dream. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm just gonna see what happens, go into a studio. So I made a record, and one day, one take, done. It was cool. It's like exorcism.
Did you kind of know what you were going to play, or was it more kind of improvising?
Just improvised, yeah. It was fun.
But you have pretty good instincts from decades of playing and
just
that
playing
too?
with Thurston. Like,
Right.
I feel like I didn't really improvise until I started playing with him.
Oh.
So I would write parts, but I just wouldn't like, jam. So, and like he's like the king of improvising.
Yeah.
So
And
really
kind of
good.
experimental avant-garde.
Yeah.
That's the word for it. Music reminded me a little bit of easy listening music, and I mean that, and take that in the spirit which it's intended.
Cool.
But it reminded me kind of like those records from the '60s you get at thrift stores and stuff.
Yeah.
Just that 101 guitars, like things like that.
Wow.
Where it's kind of like dramatic, it's cinematic. I know you've done like movie scores and stuff. I don't know, but that you're saying, I'm getting that was maybe an unintentional influence.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought of that. Like, I don't really want to make it so dramatic, but I guess I'm a dramatic
Not
person.
mellow. It wasn't melodramatic.
Okay.
Although that could be really exciting.
Yeah, just like.
Ding, ding, ding. You know, like when you're like going up the stairs, that's what like a harp could do.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Ding, ding, you know. Yeah, no, it was cool. And so you've gone on the road solo with the harp. It's just you and the harp? Do you bring somebody with you?
Nope, just me. It's fun.
And do you bring it into the motel room, the harp, at night?
No, I just leave it in the car.
You're not worried about getting stolen?
I don't think any.
It's too big to steal.
I think it's too big to steal. Oh, I shouldn't say that out loud on TV. I mean, yeah, it would take a lot for someone to know how to properly transport it and to carry it and lift it while, you know, retaining the value of it without smashing it, you know?
And then how'd you sell something like that? A
Yeah,
hot
'cause
harp.
it has a serial number and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if I went to the pawn shop, they would.
I wouldn't try if I were you.
So pretty secure with the harp.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked a lot about the harp. Would you mind playing a little bit
Right now?
for us? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, just get on up there. And the folding chair is fine for that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Mary.
Hey, thanks.
That's our show, folks. Until next time, this is Adam Papagan reminding you that there's a place you can go, and it's your mind. Good night.